It's approaching the top of the steps, and it prohibits itself from going any further. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Thamtu G11 robot vacuum cleaner. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box and packaging right here walking us through some of the key tech specs and details. They also have a QR code where you can download the free mobile app for iOS and Android devices. So this vacuum features 2500 PA for ultra strong suction. This is a really slim RoboVac coming in at 2.85 inches tall, works with voice control like Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and they claim an extra long battery life up to 150 minutes. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our product literature right here. We have a user guide and manual for the mobile app in multiple languages, walking you through everything you need to know, complete with QR codes that you can scan for additional help and support. But check it out, they even have step-by-step screenshots for you for the Wi-Fi settings, connecting to the vacuum, even setting it up with voice control like Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. They have you covered. Troubleshooting steps, then you can see everything repeats again in additional languages. Next, we have our instruction manual following the same pattern. So you can see this is available in multiple languages, going through everything we need to know about the vacuum, step by step, very detailed, thorough, really helpful images and graphics, making sure you understand how to use and set up everything like the magnetic strips if you want, so it can avoid certain obstacles around the house, how to maintain and care for the Robo Vacuum, how to clean it. Our tech specs are right here. 2600 milliamp hour battery, 4 to 5 hours to fully charge. 450 milliliter dustbin capacity, 150 minutes of runtime in auto mode with minimum suction power on hard floors. Troubleshooting, voice prompts. So they have everything covered for you, very detailed and thorough. Next, our warranty information. This does come with an 18-month warranty, adhesive strips. We have some cable ties right here. Additional filter. You can see we have 2 side cleaning brushes for the left side, marked and labeled in red, 2 for the right side in green. You can see our wall charger and power supply right there with our charging base, with our charging contacts. You can see where the cable connects on this side. Here's the very bottom where you can see the grip feet and additional product information. We have an included remote control, so you can see how that looks right here. And then we have 2 included AAA batteries. Our magnetic strip, if we want to set some no-go zones in areas around the house, we can use that. And lastly, we have the vacuum itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at this in more detail. Here's a look at the vacuum up close. Check it out from the top. Everything looks great. You can see we got their logo and branding, our control button right there. We have a really cool design. This is a glossy black finish on the vacuum. We can also go ahead, we can open up the front cover, and you can see these will have to be removed before use too, protecting it in transit. But on the inside, we have some additional troubleshooting and air prompt information. We have a Wi-Fi indicator light right there. We have our multi-purpose cleaning tool attached. Really cool storage. And then you can see we have our dustbin that we can remove. So check out the dustbin right here with our removable and replaceable filter that we can also clean as needed. We can see this from all different sides and angles. We can press this button right here to release, to empty out the contents of our dustbin. Again, this is a 450 milliliter dustbin. Now we'll look at the vacuum from the side. So you can see from the back right here, looks like we got an additional sensor and maybe some exhaust for any air coming out of the vacuum as it's sucking and cleaning up. Now you can see it from the side right here. We got our IR sensor. Now you can see it from the front. We got our IR sensor. Now we can see it from the other side, our additional sensor right there. Flipping it over to the bottom, you can see we have our omnidirectional wheel, black and white. We have our charging contacts. We have our cliff sensors right here. Our battery compartment, it does look like it is removable with a Phillips head screwdriver. And then we have our cleaning brush roller, easily removable to clean as well. Our spring-loaded suspension for our 2 drive wheels. You can see our left and right side cleaning brush attachment spots clearly labeled for us. Now let's go ahead and let's get this set up. Setup simple and straightforward. We just need to attach 2 out of the 4 included side cleaning brushes, and they're labeled left and right for you. Red is going to be left, clearly labeled right there, you can see on the brush. And just line it up. It's just got a square fitting on it. You just press it in place, it'll snap right in. Same thing for the right one. Right is green. You can see that right there. Line it up and just press and snap in place. There we go. We have now set up our RoboVac. Let's go ahead, let's get it charged up and then set up the mobile app. So we got the vacuum all charged up and ready to go, and we have the app downloaded on our mobile device. Once you sign in and create an account, this is going to be the screen you're going to be at where we're ready to add our RoboVac. We can select the big blue add device button at the bottom, or in the top right hand corner we can select the plus icon. So let's choose add a device. You can see all the makes and models currently that you can add from within the mobile app right here. In this case, we have the G11, so that's going to be the vacuum we're going to select. And the next screen is connect to Wi-Fi. This only supports 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks, so make sure you're connected to your home's 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. Choose your network, enter your password, then select next. Next up, you'll be at this screen where it's time to check the status. First thing you have to do is make sure your RoboVacuum cleaner is powered on. Ours is already turned on. Next, they want you to open up the top cover too, and you're going to press and hold both buttons you see here, the power and the home button, for 3 seconds until you hear a voice prompt saying Wi-Fi reset, ready for AP mode connection, and the blue indicator light is flashing. So let's go ahead, let's hold them down.
Wi-Fi reset, ready for AP mode connection.
So we got the prompt right there. I'm looking, I actually don't see, it's really faint. If it is, I think I see a little bit of blue for that Wi-Fi light, but you can see we have a blinking blue light up here. Let's go ahead, let's confirm the condition and select next. Now we need to connect to the RoboVac's AP hotspot within our Wi-Fi settings. So here's the vacuum right here in our Wi-Fi settings. You can see it, the Thamtu SL54BA is how ours shows up. So we're going to select that. Now we need to go back into the mobile app. Now you can see we're back into the mobile app right here, and it's working on adding the device. There we go. The connection was successful, and now we're already taken back into the mobile app. That took less than 30 seconds from resetting the Wi-Fi to connecting to everything and getting it set up. Now let's go ahead, let's check out the G11 settings within the mobile app. So right from the home screen, you can see all your connected devices right here, and you can easily see their online status. So in this case, the G11's online. We can select it. This takes us into the main app for the G11. You can see all the controls and options that we have here. First up in the top right-hand corner, we can select the 3 dots. This brings us into our device settings where we can change the name, schedule a cleaning right here, select the plus icon, choose hour, minute, AM or PM, which days of the week that you want it to repeat. So you could select a couple of days, and then you can choose to receive a notice if you want when the schedule is executed. And you can save multiple schedules. Next, we can share the device with friends or family. Just enter an email address to invite them. Next up, we have our voice and volume settings. So we have mute, high, or medium. We can choose our language, English or Chinese. Then we have our cleaning record showing us our cleaning history of the vacuum. Then we have our maintenance suggestions right here when it's time to conduct routine maintenance for the filter, the side brush, and the main brush. So check that out. You can see our usage right now. And then if you replace it, you can select reset now. Really helpful. Auto boost, we can turn that on or off. We have our device details, firmware upgrade, and we can find our robot. So we can select that, and you can see it's beeping. So just go ahead, let's press this button. Should get it to stop.
Start automatic cleaning. Cleaning paused.
So there we go. We found our robot. We can also delete the device or do a factory reset. Now let's go back. Let's look at the rest of the controls. So front and center, you can see we can drive the vacuum around manually, right at our fingertips within the mobile app. Then towards the left-hand side, you can see we have our little map icon. On the right-hand side, we have our suction icon. This is going to give us our different suction settings. So soft, standard, or strong. Obviously, if you use the soft mode, that will give you the longest battery life. Then we have our recharge or start clean options right there, followed by the different cleaning modes. So you can see we have auto mode. We have edge cleaning. It will just clean the edge of the rooms. Or spot cleaning. It will just clean that one particular area. Now let's go ahead, let's get cleaning. So first up, we're gonna have the vacuum clean in auto mode. You can use the mobile app or the remote control and just press the auto button. So here we go.
Start automatic cleaning.
Very responsive. And now it's gonna start an automatic clean. You can see in the automatic clean mode, it's going to go back and forth, row by row, in a logical cleaning pattern. And that gives us a nice and consistent clean every time, making sure that there's no area left unvacuumed. Usually you don't see this feature a lot with vacuums at this price point, so it's really nice to see. Now you can see the vacuum's encountering a rug right here. Check it out, it's half on and half off. Didn't have any issues getting stuck or anything like that. Now it's coming back again. It's going to make its approach to the rug. So we'll see how it does as it drives fully on it. No issues there. It just made its turn. No issues again, and it drives right off. Now we're going to be trying out spot cleaning mode. For this mode, go ahead, place the vacuum cleaner in the area that you want to spot clean. Then within the mobile app or on the remote control, go ahead and press the spot cleaning button.
Start spot cleaning.
You can see in this mode, the vacuum's going to go around in a circle that gets larger and larger, just cleaning that one particular area. And then when it's done, it'll make its way back to where it started, shrinking that circle smaller and smaller. Now you can see it's working now to shrink that circle back down. And there we go, it just finished our spot clean. Next up, we're gonna try the corner cleaning mode. That's gonna be this button on the remote control. Once that's activated, the vacuum will just clean the perimeter of our rooms, going along the edge of the walls and the baseboards.
Start edge cleaning.
So you can see it's gonna approach the edge right here under the cabinets. And now it's just gonna follow that edge all around the house until it finishes cleaning. It's using that front bumper and sensors to navigate and find the edge. You can see it's picking up a lot of crumbs already. It's definitely kicking a lot out from under the cabinets. It's navigating the appliances with no issues. It even got in that crevice right there. And now it's moving around the refrigerator. Just following the edge of the room. Now it's time for my favorite mode. You can see we're going to manually drive the vacuum right now. So watch what happens when I press the forward button. You can see it goes forward on its own, a fixed distance. And then we can turn it manually by holding down the button. But it's a lot of fun. Let's drive it up over the rug. No issues going over obstacles like this manually, which is great. We can turn around on it. It's driving just fine as you would expect. And then I'll also show you here, we can also go backwards with the remote. So you can see we have the back arrow right there. Same thing, it will move a fixed distance on its own. And then you'll have to press the button again. So it's able to go forwards or backwards with manual controls using either the remote control or the mobile app. Next up from the remote control, we have the ability to easily change the suction level from minimum to maximum. So we just pressed it. This is our minimum suction. And we just pressed it again, and now you can hear the maximum suction. And there's definitely a pretty substantial noise difference as we increase the suction power. The vacuum's definitely going to run louder. But we can turn it back down too again, very easy with just the push of a button. Looking at the mobile app, you can see we have 3 different suction settings. So instead of just the low and the high, we have the standard. So currently we're in the soft mode. Fairly quiet. Here's standard mode. You can definitely tell it is now louder and we increase the power. And then lastly, going back to strong mode, you can definitely tell that the vacuum is going to be working and giving the most power possible to give you that deepest clean. And don't forget, after the vacuum's done cleaning, if you want to send it home on your own manually, you can go ahead, you can press our recharge, return to home button right here. And you can see it initiated the command. Now the vacuum's going to work on finding its way back home to the charging base right there. And charge up and get ready for the next clean. It's locked into it. You can see it's moving slowly as it idles back home. It's found the base. It's going to work on making its final approach right here. Lining itself up. Always impressive with the technology and how it's able to do something like this. It's really cool. But there we go. Final approach. Going to drive up on the charging contacts. So there we go. It just put itself home and it's recharging. This vacuum's also equipped with cliff sensor. So when it approaches a ledge, it's not going to drive off. So watch what happens right here. You can see it's approaching the top of the steps and it prohibits itself from going any further. You can see too, we can even turn the vacuum and it's not going to drive off. But if you are in manual mode, do not back up. It will go off the ledge. So if you're in manual mode, do not back up over the ledge or else the vacuum will drive off. But when it's cleaning on its own, it's smart enough with those cliff sensors, it won't be backing up. It will avoid the ledge and not fall off. Now you can see the vacuum tackling another obstacle right here. We have a runner area rug that it's able to drive up on and clean with no issues. And you can see we had some shoes on the floor there that it was able to navigate away from. Again, going back up on the rug, no issues again. Approaching the shoes and the corner right there. Turning around. Half on, half off the rug with its one wheel. And it's able to move about freely just as you would expect with no issues. Now you can see the vacuum cleaning on our carpets right here. Check it out. It's going back and forth in that logical cleaning pattern, giving us that nice row by row clean. So check it out. It's not having any issues navigating on the carpet right here. It identifies the edge of the wall and then continues back in that nice logical pattern. So you can see there's a pretty good overlap between the previous mark that it's left on the carpet, which is great. You want to make sure that it's covering every area, giving you that nice, thorough, and accurate clean every time. So you can see again, just continuing on in that row by row pattern. So here's our progress. Check out those cleaning lines. The carpet looks fantastic. It's doing a great job continuing on with its clean. But you can see how there's a lot of overlap between both passes, giving you that great coverage every time it cleans. Check out those lines. Don't forget about the included boundary strip. You can cut these to size and then just grab some tape and secure them in place. Watch what happens right here with the boundary strip that we have taped to the floor when the vacuum cleaner approaches it. So it's making its approach right here, and you can see it recognizes it and it won't go any further. I guess if you manually drive the unit, it will disable that feature and you're free to move it wherever you want. Now it's time to let the vacuum finish cleaning so we can see the results. Now that we finished cleaning, let's go ahead. Let's look at the real world results. So we'll open up the top flap. We're going to pull out the dustbin right here, and you can see we already have a lot of pet hair, crumbs, and particles right there. So let's gently try to open this up without spilling it everywhere. So you can see the contents in here. Check that out. Look at how good of a job it does picking up all those different contents in there. So we have pet hair. We have crumbs, we have fibers, we have grass clippings, leaves, things like that. Then you may notice on the filter as well too, you can see, check out the side right there and what it's able to actually get. That's really fine and small dirt and dust particles. That's great that it's able to actually trap and keep that in the filter and our dustbin. We do not want to have a vacuum suck all that up just to exhaust it right out the back. So I'm really impressed with the filtration, and you can see for your average messes around the house, this vacuum will be able to pick it up. Now we're back in the mobile app so we can check out some of the cleaning histories, and you can see the map making abilities of this vacuum. So from this screen, we can select that map icon, and we can always view the previous clean. And you can see the map and some information right at your fingertips. But we can also go to the settings, look up our cleaning records, and you can see everything that we ran today. So here we go. We got our major clean right here. It ran for 49 minutes. It hit 3 rooms and a pretty large hallway for your area. And there's the map quality. We can't do anything with the map. We can just see the areas that it scanned as it was cleaning to know whereabouts in our house it did clean. And it's actually impressive given the hardware that's on this unit. It doesn't have LiDAR navigation or anything like that to make a really detailed map. So I'm impressed they're even able to put this together. Now let's talk about voice control. This vacuum is compatible with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and they follow a very similar process to set up. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at enabling this to work with Alexa devices. So first thing you can see, we're within the Alexa mobile app right here. We're gonna go to the bottom right-hand corner, choose more. Then about halfway down, we're going to select skills and games. Now let's go ahead and search. So start typing in Thamtu Home. And you can see the first option that populates is the one we're going to want to select. And now we can view a couple of things. First up, we have our voice controls right here. We have the phrase turn on the robot and turn off the robot. So you can see all the commands we have. It's going to be very basic, but it's better than nothing. Then you have to go ahead, select enable to use. And now it's going to take you to their page to sign in with your account credentials to authorize Alexa. There we go. This one did it automatically, which is great, right from within our device and the app. So we actually have that already linked without having to go anywhere else to enter our credentials. You may have to enter your credentials, you may not, depending on your device. In our case, since we already have the app downloaded, I'm assuming that it was able to just link it up right there. And now we're free to start using our vacuum with Alexa. Turn on G11.
Start automatic cleaning.
There you go. it's going to start cleaning for us. Turn off G11.
Recharging.
So there we go. When you tell it to turn it off, you can see it's going to work on making its way back home to recharge.
Charging started.
There we go. That's simple. Now let me share with you my final thoughts after using this vacuum. Here's what I want to say. First thing is I'm impressed at this price point with the features that we have, that this vacuum can offer us row by row navigation. Typically that's not found on more budget friendly and affordable RoboVacs. That's usually reserved for higher premium RoboVacs that are equipped with LiDAR navigation, camera sensors, and 3D vision. So it's great that we have that feature trickling down to RoboVacs like this. Also want to say the mobile app's really simple to set up and use. This does come with a remote control if you prefer to use it that way versus a smart device. And lastly, they do give us magnetic strips, which is great since we don't have LiDAR navigation or those cameras to give us 3D mapping and the ability to, get a room by room clean or set those virtual walls and barriers and no-go zones. That's going to be the best way to do it, is apply those strips around areas that you don't want the vacuum to clean. So I'm glad they went ahead and just included those. That saves us an additional cost that we don't have to go out and purchase, assuming that the quantity and length that they provide is enough for you. But with that being said, there are some things I'd want to see improved. It really comes down to what your budget is, what you can afford, and what you can or can't live without. For this particular vacuum, I'd love to have a mopping module and attachment right here that we could use. That just makes these that much more practical. I'd also like to have the ability to have a self-emptying base for this unit. That would be really nice. LiDAR navigation, like we mentioned earlier, would be great, so we could have mapping capabilities, room by room cleans, things like that. Not having to use magnetic strips and just using virtual lines that we draw on within the mobile app. I'd also like to have some 3D vision, because those vacuums really do a good job of avoiding obstacles. They can see and really map your house and know where they are and where they're going, and they continue to get smarter and smarter over time as the AI continues to update, and they can identify accurately more and more, obstacles around your house, from pet waste to cords, things that these vacuums commonly get tangled up with. So I'd like to see some of those features added in the future, but with that being said, typically those are reserved for more expensive vacuums. So if you do want to have some of those features, you typically have to pay more to get them. I also want to point out with our sample unit, the first unit we had received did not work on carpet. After about 30 seconds, it would think that the main brush roller got tangled. I'm still not sure why or how that was the case, but the unit would not work. I reached out to them and they very promptly did a great job sending us another unit, and that one has had zero issues at all, which is what I expect, because I've reviewed quite a few RoboVacs that even look like this and are designed the same way, and they've never had any issues. So I don't know what was going on there, software-wise, hardware, whatever it may be. It wasn't working properly, but the new unit we have has worked great.